from each happily ever after, every wish upon a star. Let's break down the movies that shaped who we are, from memory lane to now and everything in between. The most famous of films to the ones we've never seen. Decade by decade, all the times we laughed and cried, and with a little pixie dust, they will all take flight, reliving the feelings, and we're trying our very best. And if they mean the same to you, please be our guest. So hop aboard, we would love to have you as we hang with a certain mouth, the whole gang too. If you love nostalgia stuff, we hope this does the trick. Thanks for joining us as we deep dive the magic.
Hi, and welcome back to the Deep Diving the Magic podcast. I'm KJ.
And I am Jeffrey, and we are back today with the 131st Disney feature-length film from June the 22nd of the year 1977. The 131st film that we've watched and reviewed so far is an animated classic titled The Rescuers. The Rescuers, besides being an animated film that I've never seen before, I don't believe. It is based on a series of books by Marjorie Sharp. It is also, as we'll talk about in a little bit, there's a lot of familiar voices in this film. But the main characters are Bob Newhart and Eva Gabor. So, would you like to start us off with a synopsis about The Rescuers?
Two mice of the Rescue Aid Society search for a little girl kidnapped by unscrupulous treasure hunters.
Yeah, unscrupulous.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was a made-up word, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think I've ever seen this before.
I have, and I thought I had seen the other one before, so I don't think I have seen The Rescuers Down Under.
But we'll get there in a handful of years.
But maybe I have. I don't know. I don't think I have. But fun facts about that. Did you know that due to this film's popularity, that it almost gave a Disney spinoff to an afternoon TV series in the 80s?
And Jungle Book did for...
Yeah. So it did it, but then later there was a spinoff, but it was Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, and they replaced the main characters, Bernard and Bianca.
Wait, Rescue Rangers is a spinoff of this?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I love that because
this was a spinoff, and then it eventually led to the 1990 film that we will get to, The Rescuers Down Under, which I don't 100% if I've seen it.
Really, you know how much I love the rest or the.
Does that one have the Chip and Dale people on it too, though?
I don't know.
You've never seen that one either?
I don't know. But even importantly, you know I love Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, well, this was the spinoff that inspired it. Or this was the movie that inspired the spinoff. Sorry.
That's amazing. I'm gonna save a lot of my thoughts until later. But
okay.
Do you have any other facts?
That was really the only one that I wrote down. Other than there's some fun, goofy laughs, and I really wish that we would have started keeping track of that to know how many we have.
I had some facts, actually. So this film actually started development in 1962, but was shelved because Walt Disney disliked the political overtones.
Okay.
And then also things that were shelved. You didn't write down about the nudity scandal?
No.
This movie is like famous for the nudity scandal.
No.
Like, this movie was released on video cassette or whatever on home movie, and then they had to pull it because there was like the animators left in like a full-on scene of like a naked lady in one of the windows, and they had to pull it. I'm surprised you didn't look that up.
I know I didn't look it up because I was looking at main stuff on the movie. Maybe I did know that, or I knew about a movie that happened to, but I didn't specifically know it was this one.
It was this one.
Okay.
I can't believe that Rescue Rangers came from this. It makes so much sense.
Yeah. Now it makes sense of why I was walking around the kitchen humming.
I didn't know that.
You didn't hear me over there?
I love that TV show.
Da-da-da.
Even that movie that came out a couple of years ago was amazing. But either way, anything else before we dive right in?
No, we can dive right in.
All right. So again, The Rescuers from 1977, the animated classic. We start off on a sunken houseboat. We see a little girl sneaking outside, but being watched by some terrifying crocodiles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll ask about the crocodiles a little bit later. She drops a message in a bottle into the water.
Mm-hmm.
There's some lovely music playing, and there's some beautiful hand-painted animation going on in this Disney storm.
Almost kind of like a
Yeah, it's like
hand drawn, kind of like
yeah,
what they did for 101 Dalmatians, but almost like in some of it looked like watercolor that they had colored in with. It was very nice.
Want to talk about the characters so far? So we met the little girl who dropped Penny, who dropped the bottle in the water.
Yes.
We met
So
the two crocodiles, and that's it so far.
okay, so Penny always reminded me, because I really remembered seeing this. Penny reminded me of Michael off of Peter Pan. And she always carries a little teddy bear around like him. So it's kind of like a taller girl version of Michael from Peter Pan.
Another tie into a movie I love.
And then the alligators, were they alligators or were they crocodiles? I had it in my notes. Anyway,
they're the henchmen.
Yeah, I thought I wrote it down somewhere. I'm sure Brutus and Nero. Nero, yeah. Alligators.
Mm-hmm.
So they weren't crocodiles, sorry. I wasn't sure.
So we see a group of mice that find the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to the first scene, which is the United Nations in New York. So we see a bunch of diplomats going to the United Nations, but each of them has a mouse that is scurrying along with them in their luggage. So some mice have tagged along with the people from various nations, and they enter through the mouse entrance. They're all wearing like their suits and nicely dressed, but they all pass this one mouse who's kind of doing the housekeeping. He's like the janitor, and all the other mouse delegates enter. They're having a meeting about how someone is in distress, and they sing a song about the Rescuers Society. Anything you want to add about the Rescuers Society or these mice at the UN?
Yeah. So they have their own little, what kind of looks like Congress?
Yes, it's like the UN.
Little Congress meeting with their background. They have like a tapestry of
the Rescue
Aid Society.
Oh, that's what it is, yeah.
And it's, like you said, an international mouse organization devoted to helping those in danger.
We then see that there's one mouse that showed up late, and she's a very bougie mouse. She shows up and she catches everyone's attention.
Miss Bianca.
We will get there about her in a second. She is voiced by Eva Gabor, who was Duchess in The Aristocats. So they review the message in the bottle. They read the message that is made up. It's made out to the Morningside Orphanage, and how there's a little girl who's in trouble, how much trouble she's in. That goes back to Penny that we mentioned earlier. The bougie mouse, who's Miss Bianca, like you said, she wants the assignment. She wants to be in charge. So because she wants it, every dude mouse wants to accompany her because she's, the apple to their eye. But she chooses Bernard, the housekeeping janitor mouse, the nervous housekeeper.
The very, what is the word I'm thinking of? No, superstitious. He's a very superstitious mouse.
And he is voiced by, what did I say earlier? Bob Newhart. So there's your first Big Bang reference, Professor Proton. All right. So the journey begins. They're on a Disney storm of a night. They make it to the orphanage and they find Penny's belongings. They also find an old cat, which they're nervous about at first, but this old cat has a sweet mustache, who decides to
Rufus.
who decides to help them and he tells them that Penny had ran away. You want to talk about Rufus, the sweet mustache cat with the glasses like me?
Yeah, there's a lot of characters in here I felt like reminded me of other characters from other movies, but like
Yep.
I couldn't quite put two and two together of who it was, but there's definitely inspiration
Yeah.
in this. I think Rufus is kind of a combination between Sergeant Tibbs
Sergeant Jeeps.
and what's the dog's name?
Oh, I don't remember.
Anyway, whoever the dog's name is, I feel like
There's a
it's a
ton of
combination of the two because of the mustache.
There's a ton of 101
But he wears glasses.
connection, 101 Dalmatian connections in this film.
Yeah. So he wears glasses, Rufus does, and a scarf. And he becomes like Penny's little best friend in the orphanage.
Yeah, so he does tell them, the mice, that Penny has run away. And
Or so they thought.
we see a sad flashback scene of Penny not becoming adopted.
Mhm.
We also see that Penny has this teddy bear that is 100% Winnie the Pooh. It's very much like a Winnie the Pooh-esque teddy bear.
It doesn't have the right color. Sometimes it does look like, so I think it changes colors, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's supposed to. I think it was just the style of animation. Colors.
And in this throwback scene, they're having like a moment, and then the next thing that he remembers that she's gone, and the police have given up looking for her a bunch of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Then he also remembers that there was this weird lady trying to give Penny a ride.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, "Oh, this must be who it is." So, oh, well, they're going to a pawn shop. So then the two mice decide to go to Medusa's pawn shop,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of sneak around, and they find Penny's book. So they're like, "This must be the place." They find Penny's book. We then see a very disheveled redhead named Madame Medusa, who is talking to someone on the phone, and she's very excited about a diamond that she is looking for. You want to talk about Madame Medusa, our very Cruella de Vil-esque
She was
villain?
very, very inspired by Cruella de Vil,
Mhm.
except with red hair. Has a very similar body frame, except for bigger.
Yeah, much bigger because
Where
Cruella's like really skinny.
Yeah, but like their posturing was the same. It's just but and they wear their dresses the same. So even though she had a bigger body frame, her dress just kind of like hung off of her.
Mhm.
I'm assuming because of her posture. I don't know. Um, and a lot of the facial expressions she does and driving around like on her watercraft thing is a lot of Cruella moments. The way she yells at her henchmen
Snoops.
and her pets.
Mhm. I said that the crocodiles or alligators, whatever, were Horace and Jasper from 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, I can get that, but I don't know. And then Mr. Snoops reminded me of somebody from a film we've watched, but
Me.
I don't see it being that. It's something about the way he looks. Maybe it's part of like the little donkey boys from Peter Pan, or not Peter Pan, Pinocchio.
Awful. Um,
Or that one, I was just like, I didn't like him anyway, and I was like, he actually looked better as a donkey.
it's awful. So whoever she's talking to on the phone
Terrible.
tells her that they caught Penny sending messages in bottles. So she's like, "All right, I'm heading to the boathouse right now." And the mice sneak into her suitcase to try to continue their journey, though Miss Bianca almost doesn't make it. But she then takes off flying in the car, like driving like crazy,
Mhm.
just like Cruella de Vil, which then causes her suitcase to go flying out of the car. So the mice have to make their way to the airport on their own.
Yep.
Here's where I wrote the first time about how amazing the animation is. It's absolutely stunning. So we get to the airport. We ride an escalator up, and we're mice.
Mhm.
And they get to the roof where there's Albatross Air Service.
Mhm.
They're having to communicate with the Albatross to help the Albatross land. But they are able to catch a ride on this Albatross
Mhm.
to Devil's Bayou, which is where they're going. Bernard is very nervous, like you said. And this is where we meet Orville the Albatross. In my notes here, I wrote, KJ, talk about Orville the Albatross.
He doesn't look like an albatross. He looks like a seagull, and he looks like he was the inspiration for Scuttle.
He's out.
More so than an albatross. He doesn't. He looks more like a seagull to
Well,
me.
he is an albatross.
Um. Anyway, fun little thing. His name is Orville.
Because he flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you played Animal Crossing, you would get that reference too. But anyway.
Yeah. I wrote down that the albatross flight should be a Disney ride. I still
Yeah.
can't believe that that's a movie is what inspired the Rescue Rangers. That's awesome.
Should have ended with.
Um, they soar through the air with another amazing, beautiful animation view, and there's a very touching song that is playing. We then get to the bayou, and the bayou is very beautiful and beautifully animated, but it's a very creepy place, as you would expect.
Mhm.
We see Penny again trying to sneak off with just her teddy bear, but Medusa and her bumbling sidekick Snoops send their creepy crocodiles or alligators, whatever you said, after her.
Alligators.
I wrote down that she is very much Cruella de Vil. The mice in the Albatross Express, they almost get hit by a firework, causing them to have a very rough landing into the bayou, and they land on um, like a home of some fun mice, some southern mice. Now,
I don't think they were actually mice. I think because if you,
they're just like animals.
yes, because they were all different sizes and they weren't the same size. So one kind of, well, it's not really a favorite.
Well, at first it's just the two of them.
Yeah, but he wasn't really a weasel either or something.
Because then later there's like a turtle and an owl. But what do you think that these?
Yeah, beaver.
What do you think that these two animals reminded you of?
What do I think they reminded me?
One was drinking, and the other one was like an. I don't know, but I'll tell you. You know, in the American Adventure at Epcot, which I love so much, and everybody should go ride it or watch it. And they get to the scene during the Depression when the guy's like trying to sell like his gas, and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
couldn't get a dime. That's what this guy reminded me of. Deep cut. I lost where I was.
Okay.
Orville ends up getting run over by Medusa's speedboat,
Mhm.
and Penny gets caught by the alligator.
That is actually when you hear the first Goofy
Yep,
laugh or yell.
Goofy yell. Penny ends up being caught by the alligators and
Mhm.
brought back to Medusa, but this time the mice rescuers see her and follow.
Mhm. With Evinrude.
Yep, so that's good there. So they get on this makeshift leaf speedboat that is being propelled by a speedy dragonfly named Evinrude.
It reminds me of Zipper from the Rescue Rangers. Yeah.
Nuts. That's ugh. Um
Remember at Disneyland when I was like, oh, look, the little fly. What was his name? I can't remember. And then I had to go look it up. And I was like, Zipper. And you were like, yeah, okay.
Rescue Rangers.
Apparently not Zipper because you didn't remember him either.
Bianca gets caught in the rapids, but Bernard is able to pull her back in. But then Evinrude is too tired, so they end up having to paddle the rest of the way.
Mhm.
This is where the mice overhear the plans to have Penny find Medusa and her crew the world's largest diamond, because Penny is
The Devil's Eye.
the Devil's Eye, correct? Which is the world's largest diamond, because Penny is small enough to fit into the black hole, they call it, to retrieve it. Anything here?
Nope.
The alligators smell Bianca's perfume because at first they do, and the mice have to daringly escape. You want to talk about this very hijinks-filled scene with the organ and alligators?
So it's kind of like what do you call it?
Davy Jones.
No, when you're hitting the gopher down in the hole.
Mm.
But they're actually playing the keys in the organ, so when they do, it pops the mice up
What is that
the top.
called? Whack-a-mole.
Yeah, whack-a-mole. I said gopher. Anyway, so they are doing this. The mice fly up. The other one's trying to get it when the other one's playing. And then at one point, it starts sounding like the under or well, no, the fire. I thought I said the underwater scene when I was watching it, but I actually think what I meant was like the fire scene in Mario is kind of what it reminded me of, like the tune he was playing. And it infuriates Medusa because she hears it and she wants them to stop.
Then she gets scared though of the
Because
mice.
then she sees a mice.
Bunch
Well,
of hijinks. Bunch of
two
hijinks.
Yeah.
Penny emotionally tells Medusa that she just wants to go back to the orphanage and get adopted. And she will help her get that diamond as long as she will return her. And another emotional song plays. And
Yeah, after Medusa tells her, who would want to adopt a little girl like you?
Yep, awful. And then
Yeah.
they're like, it's going to happen in the morning. So then Penny goes to bed and she prays. She prays for everybody at the orphanage and she prays for someone to come help her.
Mhm.
And then the mice finally show up to talk to her. She's crying because her wishes have come true. She's like, you didn't bring the cops. But they explain,
You didn't bring anybody big with you?
yeah.
The
So they
police.
they
I need you to
they
bring the
yeah
police.
they explain that they found her bottle and they're answering her prayers. They devise this plan. They're going to at first catch the alligators by using Bianca's perfume to catch them in a cage. They're going to steal the like speedboat thing that Medusa drives, and they send Evinrude, oh, excuse me, to go alert the other Bayou animals who are played by so many familiar Disney voices. Now they're all together and Piglet's there,
You know, the pig.
Copper's there, like listen, he was just a small little animal. But his journey gets delayed because he's being chased by bats.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I thought was funny because it's obviously nighttime
mm,
and he flies by and wakes them up, which is not how it goes because they don't come out until nighttime, so they should have already been awake.
the animals that they're banding together to talk about any way that they can help. There's an awesome Disney owl, because of course there's.
That's voiced by Piglet.
But he's waiting. They're waiting for their cue, and Evinrude is stuck with the bats. So the next morning comes, and Snoops and Medusa are forcing Penny down the hole, but this time the rescuers are in her pocket.
Yes, but she doesn't want to go down the hole, and then Medusa tells her, if you don't go down the hole, you'll never see this teddy again.
Yep. So they steal her teddy bear and force her to follow commands.
So she is definitely
She loves
following
directions that teddy
now.
bear.
Mhm.
It's a pirate's cave, and they are finally, but they
But they asked her, how do you know it was a pirate cave?
then they show it the
And
Pirates
she
of the
said,
Caribbean.
because
like
of him.
they still got skull and bones of a pirate with a sword in it.
Mm-hmm. Because
Um,
of him.
Yep, so it's a pirate's cave, and they are finally able to find the devil's eye,
Yeah.
but they can't get it out of the skull. Conveniently, it's like, conveniently like in the eye of a skull. It's massive. They can't get it out at first, and it starts to flood, which causes this big adventure. There's a huge flood that's coming. I want to talk about this stressful scene, or I'm going to keep going.
You can keep going.
All right, there's a lot of stress for Penny, the gang. Medusa's just being evil about how she only cares about this diamond.
Mhm.
But they are able to free the diamond, but the flood continues. It's very terrifying. They are all worried about drowning. It's a very stressful scene. They do narrowly escape, but with the diamond, but that is all Medusa cares about. Medusa turns on her partner, and she's keeping the diamond all for herself. She doesn't care about anybody else. Doesn't care about Snoops. Doesn't care about Penny. She got what she came for.
Mhm.
She turns on her partner, and she's going to like I said, she's going to keep the diamond all for herself.
Mhm.
This is at this point that the Bayou animals finally get the cue.
Does it make you wonder how Cruella would have been had she got her way?
I mean, Quilla's awesome, but awful at the same time. She's a good villain.
Which
Look,
one do you think's better villain?
oh, Cruella's a better villain. Horace and Jasper are better villains than Medusa. Medusa makes a little girl go down a well to get a diamond.
She kidnapped her.
Yeah.
And basically gave her no hope and told her that nobody wanted to adopt a little girl like her, and she was adorable. I would adopt that little girl in a
Mhm.
heartbeat.
So it's here where the animals from the bayou finally get the cue from Evan Rude, and they're coming to the rescue.
Mhm.
And then it cuts to back at the houseboat. Medusa has Penny and Snoops at gunpoint, but the mice are able to trip her. And so Penny's just like, all I want is my teddy bear. I want my teddy bear. And she's
Mhm.
like, nope, I've taken a liking to your teddy bear now. Which we'll find out why in a second. The mice, Bernard and Bianca, are able to trip her, like with like they tied like a rope up. Um, and there's a bunch of hijinks and gunfire, and the bayou animals show up, and then Penny is able to finally grab her teddy bear that because that's all she really wants, and then we learn that the big diamond is inside of the teddy bear.
Mhm.
Anything? Or we good?
Right.
They are able to use their plan to catch the alligators. There's a whole much more hijinks. The animal friends light off all the fireworks. Yeah, there's a bunch of fireworks. I didn't mention that really much earlier, except for when they knocked on the albatross. The animals light up all the fireworks, and it's a fun, beautiful animated hijinks going on.
Mhm.
The group, the good group of rescuers and Penny are able to use the speedboat to attempt to escape, but Medusa's hanging on as the houseboat explodes because of the fireworks. Medusa is then riding on her alligator friends, and they cause her to crash land, and the rescue mission is able to continue.
Mhm.
We then cut to a news broadcast watched by many mice, like all the mice from like the UN,
Mhm.
about how thanks to Penny, the Devil's Eye
The
Diamond.
rescue aid.
Yep, thanks to Penny, the Devil's Eye Diamond is now at the Smithsonian,
Mhm.
which is currently in the news because I think some. Oh no, that was the Louvre. I was gonna say someone stole something from the Louvre. I just read that today. But either back to this. The Devil's Eye Diamond is now in the Smithsonian, and Penny has finally been adopted, most importantly.
Mhm.
It shows like a scene on the news where she's hugging her new family in the orphanage, just singing to her. It's a
Mhm.
Disney snowstorm. She talks about how she couldn't have done it without the mice, and the live TV broadcast is like, mice? You talk to mice? And she's like, we all talk to mice. Um,
They were all excited because she was talking to them.
Yep. So then all the mice diplomats celebrate when then even Rude shows back up with another call for help from Bianca and Bernard and Orville. So they begin their next journey, and a wonderful song plays.
Oh, wait. They begin their next journey, and then we hear another goofy yell.
Yep. And a wonderful song plays as they fly an albatross through a beautiful animation. The end of the film.
Hmm.
Thoughts on a film I had never seen before?
I enjoyed it, but I also didn't enjoy it because I don't enjoy when people make little kids sad. I know, Winston. I
We
agree.
have a lot of movies on our film on our list about little kids being sad.
No.
For instance, the film that's on my chopping block, Napoleon and Samantha. Those
I
kids are
mean, that was
sad.
a good one, but that they people didn't go out of their way to make them sad.
All right, well, I'm gonna wait to talk about my stuff. So go ahead and talk to me about your thoughts and your ratings and everything.
So I definitely, for some reason, I guess I thought I'd seen the one from like our childhood and not this one, but I'd seen this one, and maybe I don't think I've seen the one from our childhood. So I have actually seen this one before, and I I don't know. I always felt really bad for Penny, and I felt like she was a great little girl and never deserved those things to happen to her. So I don't know. My rating is skewed. Sorry for that. Anyway, IMDb gave it a 6.9 out of 10. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Wow.
Which expects to be higher.
No, well, no. I mean,
I mean,
does this make it onto your list upon a star?
no.
So then, what is your list upon a star?
My list upon a star is The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Our newest friend, Joe.
101 Dalmatians, The Parent Trap, Sleeping Beauty, Dumbo, The Apple Dumpling Gang, The Strongest Man in the World, Napoleon and Samantha, Snowball Express, and The Jungle Book.
So let me talk about my views on this real quick.
Mhm.
My favorite Disney film so far, might be of all time, but we'll find out, is 101 Dalmatians. And there's so
Yes.
much comparison to this 101 Dalmatians.
Hmm.
Bunch of comparisons to the Rescue Rangers, bunch of comparisons to things that I loved growing up that I guess I'd never seen in this film.
Hmm.
We watched a film that's currently on both of our lists upon a stars called Napoleon and Samantha
That we had never heard
that
of.
we had never heard of before and it blew me away.
Yeah.
And that film is currently on my chopping block at number 10. Now, remember last week when we reviewed The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which is a phenomenal film,
Hmm.
and you gave it a 10 out of 10?
Yeah.
This film is a 10 out of 10 film. This film, The Rescuers, whether I've seen it or not, was
I still can't believe you've never seen it.
phenomenal. I don't care. I'm happy I didn't see it if I didn't see it because I get to watch it again. So good. My list upon a star. Before I get any further, for Napoleon and Samantha, because that was a great film. I want you all to watch it.
It's okay. It's still on my list.
My list upon a star is 101 Dalmatians at number 1, The Rescuers at number 2, Mary Poppins at number 3, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh at 4, Peter Pan, My Love at 5, Robin Hood at 6, Alice in Wonderland at 7, Bedknobs and Broomsticks at 8, Babes in Toyland at 9, and then my new number 10 is The Apple Dumpling Gang. Look, I can't say enough wonderful things about Napoleon and Samantha. It has been on our list for 25 films. Please watch it. It's not animated.
It's still on mine.
It's quite lovely.
It is a great movie.
Quite lovely. But I am so happy we watched this film.
Mhm.
Probably going to watch it again before I go to bed. Probably not, because now I want to watch the Rescue Rangers. But
We're not there yet, Jeff. You have to wait.
it's a TV show.
I know, but you have to wait.
Yeah. The Rescue is just such a good film, and it's now my number 2. My number 2 film. Oh yeah, we're gonna put that right here. By the way, I can go on and on. How about number 1, 101 Dalmatians, and number 2, The Rescuers, because it's like 101 Dalmatians light. This film was great.
Yeah.
Great. The bat, like the villain, great. The sidekicks, great. The sadness, great. The beauty of the animation, great. My list is gonna get hard because eventually, like Alice in Wonderland and Robin Hood are going to be down towards the bottom, and that's going to be hard for me to make decisions. But either way, they're still up there. This film is amazing.
I'm glad you think so.
Number 2, it just passed Mary Poppins. Might have been recency biased. I might regret that later, but
I was gonna say, do you think your mom's seen
I don't know. Probably. She was alive in 77. I was not.
it? Way to give her age away, Jeff.
We were born 10 years later. If my mom was not alive in 1977,
Shh.
okay.
Way to give our ages away.
All right. This film, so enjoyable. So happy we watched it. Please watch it.
Yeah.
Our next film, maybe we'll feel the same way about it, but I doubt it. Is actually 2 days later, 2 days after this film. Another film came out, film number 132, and we're going back for, I don't know if it's a trilogy or if it's the 4th film in the franchise we watched. I don't remember, but it's another Love Bug film called Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. So we will see how I feel about Herbie going to Monte Carlo and if it will compete with my new number 2 film, The Rescuers. Where Mary Poppins bumped down to number 3. That movie's a perfect movie too. But yeah, so wow, what a film. My goal for this was to not make my film full of all animated classics, but they are on there. Either way, thank you for watching. We are on Instagram, Deep Diving the Magic. We are on Spotify and YouTube, where you can watch along, watch me get excited about this, Deep Diving the Magic. And of course, if you want to write in about how I did see this film, or how you don't feel the same way, or about how you knew about the nudity scandal. Speaking of the nudity scandal, this poor little girl in this film is naked a lot too. I mean, it's animated and you can't really see anything. but it's always like, hey, she's in her underwear. Oh, she's in her underwear. But either way, and at one point the alligator's like
At one point, the Tropic or not the Tropicana, the what is that? Sunscreen,
oh yeah, the copper.
Coppertone girl.
But like she like pulls up her dress at one point to be like the alligator's like ripped a hole in my underwear and she had a hole in her underwear
Yeah.
too. But either way, not because of that. This is a great film. It is now my number two.
Yeah, not creepy at all.
But we will see you next time for film number 132, Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo.
Thanks for deep diving the magic.
Bye.
Bye.